Okay guys, just out in the garage getting some stuff ready for metal detecting. I've bought the new horde box. So this is going to be our new horde. It's a little smaller than the last one, but the last one took me 9 years to fill. Now this one is also plastic. But like the guy at the store said, you know, if you're filling this full of metal items, and it does have the metal latch on the front, the detectors will still find it. So you know what? In 7 years from now, we'll bury this one. And I'll give you guys one last look. I've decided where this horde is going. I'm going to say $500 or $600 worth of stuff in there in today's value. But I'm hoping that people don't find this for like 500 years and it's going to be a real treasure. We're going to put an SD card with all of the videos in there. We're going to put a sealed thing with a note saying, you know, who we are, what we did, all the videos, and where they can find them if the internet still exists in 500 years. And I know where I'm going to bury that. And yes, I could have bought another one of those. They wanted $40 for just the container. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that. This one was $15, and this will do the trick. So that's the new horde.
Wake up, today's going to be a good day. Wake up, today's going to be a good day. Wake up, today's going to be a good day.
Ooh, sunny and warm, 15 degrees. I can feel heat. So it's finally warmed up enough. Stan's ready to go. We're going to go detecting downtown. And there's a couple places along the waterfront that we want to hit. One was the site of an old bar that was there from, I'm going to say, the 1960s, right through my high school days. Gerald's first wife won a few wet t-shirt contests down there, and no, I'm not even making that up. Sorry, Gerald, I had to tell the world. So we're going to go detect those old grounds. Sorry, Gerald, the secret's out. You know what? He has had some pretty hot wives, this guy. We have to question. You know, Gerald, I consider Gerald like myself. We're just average Joes. But we have hot wives. Why is that? Do we have big bank accounts? No. Do we have big motorcycles? No. Gerald has a small motorcycle. Do we have... No, we don't have anything else big. You know what it is? We're funny. We've got senses of humor. That's how you get the hot chicks. So Stan, Kevin, and I are going detecting down at the waterfront. Kevin being the cold sore on my lip. Look at that sucker. I've been married to my wife 28 years. We've been together 28 years. She's always had cold sores. Since we were teenagers, I've never had a cold sore in my life. I go out to Vegas and spend a couple days in the desert. I get some chapped, cracked lips, and this is what I come home with. Kevin. I don't put a lot of stock into these in-town adventures. I always feel there's a high probability we're going to run into some idiot who's going to tell us that we shouldn't be there, shouldn't be digging, shouldn't be having fun. You know, and that's why I hate detecting curb, sidewalks, in-town parks. It's just, you're asking for trouble. And Stan gave me directions today. He remembers one hole that he tried to dig along that beachfront from 3 years ago. And he hit a metal object that he says was not a rusty iron hunk of junk. It was something else. And he never could get it out. And he's still thinking about this treasure that he left behind. So that's where we're going to start. Now, whether I can find where he is along the waterfront or not is another story. His instructions of where he was going to be were as vague as ever. So let's go find Stan. I almost forgot before we get out in that blistering sun. I've got to put on some protection here. Kevin says it's like putting lipstick on a pig. Well, shut up, Kevin. I'm not doing it to be beautiful. I'm sure many of you guys can relate. I hate creams. I hate sunscreen. I hate lip balm. All right, guys, so I am down at the site of the old bar that used to be here. When we were in high school, this was a very easy place to sneak into. And they did have one of the best wet t-shirt contests every Friday. And this is where all the kids would come, hang out, and stay until the bar closed at 2 in the morning, and then everybody would go out skinny dipping in the lake. So there's probably all kinds of treasures along that stretch of beach there, which we may swing a little bit. You guys know how much I love digging the beach. It's paved. I don't remember this lot being paved, but off to the side here, there's quite a chunk that isn't. So I may swing a little bit here while I'm waiting for Stan. and then we're gonna go out and try to find that hole that he started 2 years ago. Oh, look at this. 93 right on top, solid silver signal. Should be right on top here, whatever it is. Okay, that is one big heavy duty piece of copper. And it's got a star or something designed in the middle. I don't know what that would be from. All right, a surface find here, and it's a cigar case. Hupman Habana. Nothing screams premium cigar like a plastic case. But then there was nothing premium about the Lakeview. Except Gerald's wife's titty. Sorry, Gerald, I'll let it go someday. Ambulance, 2 ambulances, police, and a fire truck went by just before that. Okay, that is not the signal I was getting, but there is a brick down there. Is that a brick? Yeah. Really misshapen, but definitely you can see a worked edge there. Okay, I got the solid 98 right here. It's another plate of some kind. Holy heavy. Oh my god. Oh, floor grate. Kitchen floor grate. Again, solid copper. Wow, that's even heavier than the last one. I'm finding lots of pieces of beer cans here. This place is as trashy as you would expect. I just need some homeless vagrant to come up and start bothering me now, and it'll be a complete in-town outing. Look at the size of that. Again, you can see the one edge here is scraped by the shovel. Solid copper. That is heavy. And now I gotta carry that around till Stan gets here? Okay, he's just 10 minutes late. I just saw him pull into beside my truck, so I'm gonna walk back over there because I don't want to carry this copper around all day. I told him to pop his hatch. I had something for him, and he looked at me like, I don't trust you. Oh, you got Sammy in there. Here, hold that. Solid copper.
Oh yeah, cool.
So that's for your bin.
The old grate.
Yeah, and then there's another one in here too, solid copper.
Yeah, that's the old plumbing out of the lake.
Yeah. So Stan went back to one of our Voyageur spots, and he found another trade axe with the same JC stamp in it, the Axe of God that I found, what, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
And so he's found a brother to it. These would be early 1600s probably?
Mid 1600s at best, at
Yeah.
most, yeah.
So I'll flip it around, I'll show you guys the same JC stamp. He had to be making
crowns.
these axes.
The crowns, Gary, the crowns.
Okay, so 3 crowns on here. Did my axe have 3 crowns
No
on
crowns. It had one crown with the IHS, which was Jesuit.
it? Jesuit. So this has to be Jesuit as well. Okay, so there's the 3 crowns. There's actually something over to the left, I think, as well there, Stan. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
But definitely 3 crowns on there. And then on this side, we've got the JC stamp.
Yeah. These were pre-Hudson Bay Company because they didn't stamp their axes unless they were a special silver kind of deal.
Yeah.
But the regular trade axes they didn't stamp. These were French.
Yeah.
French and English.
Probably.
All had to be imported because we had no steel makers here in America in the day.
So I mean, we know the Jesuits were very precise, 1630 to 1635 in this area. So that's how old this axe head is.
You remember the British military button with the 3?
Yes.
Well, in the same vicinity, this is called a grape shot. And it's not a steel ball mill, it's not a ball bearing. Look at the mold. They were molded in England, and they were also imported like...
That's a heavy duty one though.
Yeah, that would have been for a medium-sized mortar. They made grape shot up to 2 inches for the larger cannons.
Cool. So Stan says they removed the bench, but I said, well, the posts are right there. So that's probably where the bench was. He's gonna look somewhere right here was this mystery signal.
This is much cleaner. They cleaned it all up.
So he's gonna tie Sammy up in the shade over there, and then he's gonna come back and dig right here. Somewhere right here is this mystery hole that he's been going on and on about. And I'm gonna take a little walk probably down the beach here and just see, I'll check, you know, for coins from the, could go right back to the turn of the century here, but as is the case with beachfront, we know there's probably more junk than treasure, but we'll give it a quick go. Like I figured, first beach treasure, an old bolt. All right, he says he's found this mystery hole he's been dreaming about. Dude, it's a pipe. It's a sewer pipe. You're right, it is copper brass, but tell me back in the 50s they weren't running that right into the lake.
Boiler or something.
No. Oh, well, okay, it's not round. Yeah, you're right, it's not round.
I told you. Don't be doubting the old guy.
This looked like a round sewer pipe.
You're always doubting the old guy, buddy.
The old guy, I have to doubt him a little bit. I got to keep him based in reality. All right, well, keep. You know what that is? That's a gas tank off a '57 Chev.
Look at the welds. That's not a gas tank.
Okay, so he's still reaching over there. Definitely a tank. All right, I've made the executive decision. I told Stan we're leaving that tank. It's just way too big. You're never gonna get that out of there. So we've decided we're gonna leave this uncovered like this. We're gonna call the city. Today's Sunday, so nobody's gonna answer. And we're gonna have them actually come down and remove this tank. I figure it's an old fuel tank from the 70s. Stan says that there's a pipe, he thinks, up there. There's a long run connecting to it. So maybe it was used for putting fuel in snow machines to get out on the lake, you know, back in the 1970s, 80s, maybe. But it's got to go. Environmentally, it's right here on the edge of the water. It's got to be taken care of. So we're going to call the city. First coin, 1975 penny. Woo! Look what I just found. Solid 89. And I pulled this out and I'm like, what is that? I put the pinpointer on it. That, you know what that is? It's a ring case, dude. And there's something in it.
No way.
You're freaking right.
No way.
Freaking right, I'm gonna flip you around. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what's in here.
There used to be a lot of rich people
it's
back
dirt.
in the days.
No, but it was the detector was going off. The pinpointer is going off.
Tin box.
Oh, don't tell me it was just the hinge.
Just the hinge.
No!
You're unhinged, man. You're unhinged.
It was solid 89. That's not a solid 89. Kevin says I'm a sucker, but I'm not gonna lie, that was disappointing. A ring case, ringing up 89. I was positive there was gonna be some jewelry in that thing, but it was just the hinge. All right, I got a find for Sammy. Yeah. Hey, buddy. Yep. Okay, solid 89 down here, and I can see glass. Oh, look at that. An old light fixture. Again, that's a brass alloy of some kind. No idea. Broken on both ends. I was gonna say, I wonder if Stan's finding any treasure, but I know the answer to that. No, he's not. All right, there's our mid-80s little piece of wire. That was a pain in the ass to find. Okay, I had to go back to the truck and drink half my water. We've been out here a few hours now, and it's just trashy. It's what you would expect from a demolition site, you know, that was a party site. And it's not a bust this entire day, because the whole point was that Stan wanted to find that big target that he was just dreaming about, that he didn't dig up. So we found it. We're gonna get it removed. I'm gonna go back down here and find him on the beach and tell him that I'm moving over to our park where we find the silver. It's pretty beat down, but I'm gonna spend one final hour there because I am done digging this trash. Let's move on. Shut up, Kevin. I'm not being a baby. I just want to move on to somewhere where I have a chance of finding something old. God, I can't wait till this thing's gone. Uh-oh, Stan's got a whole herd of local wildlife watching him dig down here. Wait, what's she doing? Is she digging a hole or what? Stan. Stan, you dirty dog, you. I can hear Stan. Keep digging. Keep digging. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what Stan was doing. There was cleavage for days there. This is what happens when you bring the wild animal from out in the woods into town. He's flirting with all the beach ladies. Very deep, 97. Oh no, there it is. It is copper, but it's not a coin. Oh boy. Solid copper again. Down there about a foot. Alright, we'll document putting this plug back too, because this is the park where they just won't leave us alone now, so you gotta be very careful. There you go, you wouldn't even know I was here. Okay, and there it is right there when I flipped over the plug. Not very deep at all, maybe 5-6 inches. See if I can get a year off of that. 1983.
92, 93.
Stan says he's got a deep 93 over there. Kevin says I told you so. Rats, not a coin. Okay, so in the last hole I found this little bit of glass along with a pull tab, and I think this is like 1950s ginger ale label. Pretty cool. Maybe even 40s. Well, if I keep digging, there won't be any bolts left here sooner or later. Well, not a nickel. Yeah, for the love of God, Stan, don't scare me like that. What do you got?
It's a dime, I think. I can't tell.
Oh, that's a silver dime, dude.
Looks like a silver dime.
That-
Yeah, it is. It's
that's a-
George. I can see it now.
That's my filming arm. Don't punch my filming
Silver
arm.
and-
1943. Or a 1991. In there with your 1943, Stan.
How bizarre.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. Got my.
All right, buddy. Have a good day. We'll see you later.
Hey, just give me a pull tab.
See you later. All right, and here it is, the start of our new hoard. I'm going to put in the 1940s ginger ale bottle, the 1700s button from the fort site, and a couple of crusty pennies. And that's the start. It might take another 9 years to fill this. We'll find out. It's a start.